I think we start. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, the Iliad webinar series. Today, we'll address the Iliad Academy. We will build capacity for digital twins of the ocean. And today will be really a hands-on webinar as well. So you get a quick introduction to what the Iliad Academy is, and then some hands-on. So brace yourself. We hope that you will participate along with us. My name is Bente Liljaby. I am the host of this webinar, as many of the other Iliad webinars. I am the innovation manager and do a lot of other stuff in the Iliad project as well. Today, as I said, we will have a sort of a little bit different kind of setup of the webinar because it's more hands-on. But there will be some surveys. So we will have a general presentation, as I said, and then there will be presented some surveys that I really hope that you can help us give feedback through those surveys. Guhar will share them as we progress in the webinar. As usual, keep your microphone off when the others are speaking. And otherwise, if you have questions, as you hear the presentations, don't hesitate to write in the chat as well. But I guess this time we will also break in between to allow some questions, since this is a more hands-on kind of webinar. So with that, I will start the program. I will show you the program. I'll share my screen to do that. So this is the webinar. We anticipate it will last 1.5 hours, depending a little bit on how engaged we all are. First, as usual, you will get an introduction to Iliad, digital twins, etc. Very quick introduction. And then we are jumping to focus on what the Iliad Academy is. That's Garabet Kazantian from the American University of Armenia. And then we will give Gohar Shahinian the floor, and she will explain how to use the Iliad Academy. And then we will go step by step through how you can add content to the Academy. And if you are not a partner in Iliad, I just want to add that actually the Iliad Academy is open for all. So this will be useful for you if you want to share your competence, your course, your information on Iliad Academy. You are more than welcome to do so. And for Iliad partners, this is really the place where we can communicate and disseminate the results that we have on training and courses, guidelines, etc. Use the Academy as much as you can. So, and we also have some discussion, but as I said, there will be some surveys in between so that you can participate. And now, what is a digital twin? A reminder. Here you see identical twins. These are not digital, they are real humans. One of them is my father. He's an identical twin. At this age, it was very hard to say who was who. As they grew older, it became easier to see which one was my father and which one was my uncle. This is opposite to what happens with digital twins of the ocean and digital twins in general. As more information, as time passes by and we gather more information and data, the digital version of reality will be more and more identical to the digital version of the real world will be closer and closer. So there are some definitions of digital twins. The digital twin here is an ISO. This is a standardization body. And after a few years, actually, this definition came about after we started the Iliad project. And today it sounds like this. Digital representation. A digital twin is a digital representation of a target entity with data connections that enable convergence between the physical and the digital states at an appropriate rate of synchronization. And then there's a few notes that gives us a little bit more and allows more flexibility in these terms. But that's the standard definition of a digital twin. Of course, Iliad, digital twins of the ocean, we have also adding this interoperability feature. So interoperable, data intensive, and cost-effective digital twins of the ocean. That's an add-on to this definition. A digital twin is very similar in many ways to normal applications and services. You see here the data pipeline for a digital twin. You have a data acquisition and collection, then you store it somewhere and you prepare the data. So you harmonize it so that you can combine it and make analysis using AI or machine learning, etc., on your data, and then out comes a new information, product or service that is presented in a way that is fitting the end user. And then with a twin is a feedback loop, so this is continuously updated. That's sort of a little bit of the difference between an ordinary service and application and a digital twin, but it's recognizable. This pipeline is recognizable. We talk about multiple twins. So in Iliad, we have local and thematic twins. We have divided the thematic areas in 12 areas. And you see here these listed: jellyfish swarm, oil spill, plastic pollution, fisheries, sustainable aquaculture, marine and maritime insurance, aquaculture, water and ship traffic, coastal sediment transport, ocean energy potential, met-ocean high now and forecast, ballast water monitoring, harbor safety, and existing wind farm capacity. So we have about between 20-25 twins, local and thematic twins now. And we now is towards the end of the Iliad project. It's a Horizon Europe project. Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020, excuse me. We are towards the end. It ends in end of July this year. We are, as you can see from this map, we are not only European partners, we also have partners from Africa and from the Middle East, and we have 54 partners distributed across 19 countries. So, investment is substantial. In total, with the contributions from the partners, is also close to 19 million euros. So that's a little bit background of what Iliad is, the digital twins. Now, obviously, training, education, capacity building is necessary. And now, Garabet, I will give the floor to you. So Garabet is responsible for the Iliad Academy, building that. He is a professor or expert at the American University of Armenia. And he's also working a lot on policy development. But for now, we will learn from your perspectives on the Iliad Academy. Garabet, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bente. So as Bente already mentioned, we're developing the Iliad Academy at the American University of Armenia, but also in collaboration with all the different Iliad partners. It's not a one-man or a one institution job. It's a pretty big endeavor. Hopefully you can see my screen. To put things into perspective, I wanted to talk a bit about what the Iliad Academy is as a concept, and then Gohar will go on with a hands-on demonstration of where it is now and how you can contribute to it. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about online learning platforms, as the Iliad Academy is. We've seen a very strong boom in online education. The online learning market has reached a market valuation of north of $300 billion already in 2023, and this is projected to grow even further in the coming years. And we've also seen a very strong trend in corporate e-learning capacity, wherein, for instance, 40% of Fortune 500 companies are now using e-learning for training, and this is mainly to train their staff on upcoming innovative tools, but also to keep at the cutting edge of business development. So within this scope, we see MOOCs are expanding, and this is becoming a very flexible tool for both education and also for businesses, because online learning costs are less. They offer a lot of flexibility, and also they facilitate the use of modern technologies like VR and AR to enhance engagement, make things interactive, keep people's interest up. So, like I said, why does it matter? On one hand, it's very easily accessible to everyone. It is also very flexible. You could cater with your own times during your free times, and it's available worldwide. It's also cost effective, as I mentioned. You can provide high quality content to users with less cost than actual physical teaching most of the time. And it could be very collaborative and fast to reach to a large number of audience. The Iliad Academy, as I mentioned, is a prime example of this. How so many different, tens of different institutions across Europe and beyond are collaborating with each other to create MOOCs, create interactive material, and so on. It's also important, the fast element is also important, because as we know, within our domains, things are moving very fast now with digital technologies and whatnot. So this is a means to keep your audience and end users up to date with the latest standards, with the latest methods, innovations, and so on, versus a more, say, slower paced academic curricular methodology. So that brings us to the Iliad Academy. What is the Iliad Academy? It's an educational and capacity development hub for professional development in ocean digitization, digital twinning, marine sustainability, and driving blue economies. So this is basically a one place where we could host a number of different training, capacity building tools, offer online courses, MOOCs, in sustainable aquaculture, marine renewable energy, different policy frameworks, just to name a few, and offer different toolkits and documentations for the tools we're creating within Iliad and beyond that will be eventually hosted on the Iliad marketplace. So if you go to the Iliad Academy, and like I said, Gohar will take you step by step in there, you will find these different categories. With the courses, we have a number of courses already in development currently, from data management to how to build digital twins, step-by-step guide, to how to integrate citizen science and these digital technologies, application packaging, and so on and so forth. These are some of the courses which are currently under development. As you are in one right now, Iliad has the webinar series, which will also be hosted eventually and integrated into the Iliad Academy. And then more importantly, maybe for our partners, is the documentation tools. And this is important for two reasons. One, if we want other third parties to develop similar tools, here is where both the courses and the documentation tools come into play. So here we want to provide kind of the Lego pieces of what it is or what it entails to build a digital twin, along with all the different standards, the architecture, step-by-step guides of identifying the problem, reaching out to your potential end users, getting from them their needs to develop the solutions, and then going into the innovative research and innovative solutions of how these needs could be catered. So if anyone wants to develop a similar tool, they could go through the documentation and provide local thematic digital twins for their particular needs based on the technologies and the best practices developed within the Iliad project. Documentation or training is also important if you want people to use the services that you're offering yourselves. So Iliad has a number of pilots. We already have a long list of digital services provided on the Iliad marketplace. So if end users want to either learn how to use these tools or train their staff, on how to use these digital tools, the Iliad Academy is the place to go to. So here, whatever tutorials, training activities, demonstrations of how these tools could work, potential gains of companies or governments or different types of end users that could benefit from these tools would all fit into this. So eventually, and this is we're in the process of now tying the different Iliad components to one another. If an interested third party, whether that's a public authority or a business, as I mentioned, or people in academia are interested in digital services for blue growth or ocean sustainability, they could go to the marketplace, they could look up, filter through what they're looking for, find a number of digital tools and services that might be helpful or interesting to them. And then they want to know how these tools work. They would be automatically tied to the Iliad Academy, where they would see the demonstrations, where they would see the documentation, maybe some showcasing of results, and then follow through a training methodology if they're interested, and go and purchase the or download these services and tools from the Iliad from the marketplace, and thereby be fully equipped on how to use them. And then since Iliad is based on the concept of federation and interoperability, would also be very happy to host any third-party resources which fit in within this domain. So anything related to ocean digitization, ocean sustainability, digital twinning, Earth observation systems, and so on. From the partners, I would request that you've already passed on to us a number of the different third-party resources, but if you can think of more, please share them with us and we'll host them here. And also for anybody listening to this webinar, if you have developed any resources that you think might be interesting for you, we can disseminate it here. Likewise, if you've developed any online courses or MOOCs that you think would fit within the scope of the Iliad Academy and want to have it hosted, by all means, do reach out to us or fill out the surveys that Gohar will be sharing in a second, and we'll happily host them here if we think it fits within the scope. So these stuff we want you, if you have, I know you've developed a lot of training material throughout the project in the last years. If we've missed anything, please share them with us. We can add them here in the relevant space. Any documentation, tutorials, toolkits that you've developed for your pilots, please share them with us. We've already been collecting them, but we can always miss some stuff. So if you think anything is relevant and want to be shared here, by all means, do contact us. Similarly, toolkits, standardization manuals, guides, tutorials aimed at third-party developers. Like I said, if anybody wants to adapt or replicate the digital twin within their local thematic would be very important for us. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we lost the last sentence or so.
Oh, okay. So I was saying anything that would be useful for third-party developers to adapt or replicate the digital twins, all the documentation that would be relevant for them. Please do share them, and we'll host them on the Academy as well. So that's it from my side. I don't want to take a lot of time. I would be happy to answer any questions in the chat. But I want to give the floor to Gohar so she could take you step by step in what the Academy includes. And then if you want to also yourselves add material to the Academy, she'll go through all these step by step. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Garabet. And I just want to underline what you said, that Iliad is a federated system. So we are using many different platforms, many different tools. And in order for us or the users to be able to use these tools, capacity and training is necessary for those as well. So that's the third party courses and guidelines, etc. you were mentioning. So it's really underlining the the interoperable federated system of systems approach, also when it comes to the training material. I just wanted to underline that. So thank you for mentioning it also, Garabet. Now, as you said, we will like to give the floor to Guhar. So first, who is Guhar? Guhar is Shahinian, is also working at the American University of Armenia. She is a GIS expert, remote sensing expert, and with background from environmental studies. She is working on making this academy implemented and is our expert on MOOCs. The floor is yours, Guhar.
Thank you, Bente. So before I start, I did share the link to the Excel that Garabet mentioned, where you can input content that you think will be relevant for the Iliad Academy. So the link is there. So I'll begin with a very quick introduction to the Iliad Academy website. I have a very short clip that I will present to you soon. Then we'll actually take a very small survey, take a break, complete a survey that's only 3 questions, and it will be about the Iliad Academy website design and structure. Then we'll actually go through a step-by-step process on how to create a course on Moodle. So we're going to create a course today together, and we're going to input content into the course together. And then finally, we'll actually look at a course that has already been developed, so that hopefully by then you'll also see the tools in action, or the components that we'll do together. You'll see the kind of the final product, what the final course might look like. That will be today's webinar, I guess, the rest of it. So I'm going to share my screen now and play the video. So here we go. Please let me know if you cannot hear it.
Thank you for joining us as we explore the Iliad Academy. Our mission is to create a comprehensive, accessible, and sustainable resource for our partners, marine professionals, and the broader community working on ocean digital twin technologies. In this presentation, we will walk you through the design and structure of the website and explore its key features. Here we have the design of the Iliad Academy homepage. The website is designed to align with the Iliad brand, ensuring accessibility and ease of navigation. Our goal is to provide a user-friendly experience, allowing visitors to quickly access the resources they need. Now, let's take a closer look at each section on the homepage. The site is structured into distinct sections, each presented in separate content blocks, including courses, webinars, documentation and tools, and third-party resources. Each block is clickable, allowing users to explore the resources within. Let's enter the courses page. Here, we highlight the various courses available on the Iliad Academy platform. The courses currently cover key topics such as standards and interoperability, application packaging, citizen science, and data best practices. Now, let's move on to the webinar section. The webinars page includes an introductory text and tab sections for different webinar series. Expanding a tab reveals links to specific webinars, making it easy for users to find relevant content. After clicking on a webinar link, users are directed to a video page. Navigation buttons allow them to move between videos, ensuring a smooth and uninterrupted learning experience. The documentation and tools section follows a similar structure for consistency. Now, let's take a look at third-party resources. This section provides access to relevant external materials. Users will find an introductory text, blocks presenting helpful third-party resources, and embedded links directing users to these external tools. The homepage also showcases featured courses, allowing users to quickly access key learning materials. Let's explore one of the courses in detail: How to Build Digital Twins of the Ocean, Challenges and Opportunities in Setting Up Pilot Sites. Here we have the course structure. Each of the 7 topics is displayed as an interactive tile. On the left, the course breakdown provides a detailed overview, including subtopics. Once clicked on the tile, the module's content is revealed. Each module includes an introductory text, a detailed explanation of the topic, a video lecture, and additional resources such as PowerPoint presentations and supporting materials. This ensures a comprehensive learning experience for all users. The Iliad Academy is designed to be an essential learning hub for ocean digital twin technologies. It offers structured courses, expert-led webinars, documentation, and third-party resources to support professionals and researchers. We encourage you to explore the platform, engage with the content, and contribute to the community.
Thank you for viewing. So as you can see, the Iliad Academy is not only about courses, we also have webinars, trainings, tools and documentation, and third-party resources. And so once more, to take an opportunity of this webinar, you might have noticed that the tools and documentation page was not presented. And that's because we are still lacking content. So again, please use the Excel. You can brainstorm and think about the types of materials that you may have within your projects that may be suitable for the tools and documentation page, but also for the entire website. So if you can think of relevant courses or webinars that might have been conducted that are not currently on YouTube, for example, or within our folders, please include those as well, and we'll make sure that they're on the Iliad Academy website. Okay, I just want to make sure that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So let's take a moment, and if you have any questions about the Iliad Academy website, I'm happy to answer those. And I will also share with you the survey link very quickly. We will have 2 surveys, one right now and another at the end of the webinar. It only has a few questions. I believe there are 3 questions about the structure, the design, and how potentially would you use the website. So please take a minute to go through the survey. Are there also any questions regarding the website?
I wonder if, so this is open, so what you need to be able to use this, you need to register first before you can log in and create your course, or how is that?
So at the moment, the login is to enroll in the courses. But for example, if you would like to review any of the webinars, they're completely open, and you do not need to have a registration for that. Again, it's public information. Most of these will actually take you to YouTube. So you can just click on any of these links and view the webinar. Okay, so here we have a webinar. If you would like to view the next one, you just click on the button below. But the registration would be for the courses, to enroll in the courses. Currently, we do have one of the courses that's open to the public as well, and that's the MOOC, How to Build Digital Twins of the Ocean, Challenges and Opportunities in Setting Up Pilot Sites. And I think this is because it will be reviewed, right? So we want the reviewers to be able to see this. And then eventually it will also be closed and will demand a registration. Okay, so hopefully you've had enough time to answer those very short questions. Let's proceed. So in order to create a course through the Iliad Academy website, you do need a login registration. So all of our partners who are currently working on course creation have their own login. And if you're here today with us, I do encourage you to follow along with me. So log in, and you can find the login button right here to the top right side of the page. Now you'll find yourself on the login page, and I already have mine saved. So I'm just going to include my password and click on login. Okay, So in order to create a course, we need to go through the site administration. Now, typically, Moodle divides the activities in two. So we have the site administration side, and then we have the courses. So what you saw, what we call the Iliad Academy website, that has actually been created through the site administration. That has to do with the branding, the design, kind of the back end as well. So that has everything to do with the site administration. And then we also have the courses, and that's where the learners and the instructors interact, and that's where you have the materials, the learning materials. So for today, we're only focusing on the courses, how to develop courses, and not so much on the branding and the design and the structure of the website. So to add a new course, we need to go into site administration. We need to go into courses and then add a new course. Now, if a course has already been created for you, if the administrator, let's say, has created the course already, you would go to manage courses and categories, and we'll actually take the step later on. So let's create a new course. So we're going to click on add a new course. And here we have to fill out the template. So first we'll add a name. So as an example, today we'll just do introduction to digital twins of the oceans. And then we'll need a course short name. So this can be an abbreviation, or for fun, I'm just going to put DTO 101, okay, as an abbreviation. So course category, again, as I mentioned, we have webinars, we have trainings, we have documentation and tools. So it's very important that this says courses, okay? As a default, it should. But just in case, if you see webinars, for example, all you have to do is click on the X to remove it. And then you need to click on the arrow down button and then select courses, okay? Course visibility, since this is again something that we'll do today and it will not be completed, it will not be the final version. We don't want everyone to see this, right? We don't want the public to see it. So we're going to actually hide the course from the public. So we're not launching the course, we're not publishing it. The course start date and the end date, I will leave it as a default unless you want the course to be available only temporarily, in which case the course end date can be enabled. But since most of the courses on the Iliad Academy website will be self-enrolled, non-managed, these can be left as is. Okay, now the description will have content that the learner will see before enrolling in the course. So if we have our partners here, our course creators, you will recall that we also shared a template with you that had information like the title, the course description, learning objectives, instructor bio, things of that nature. So if you have completed that template, you can also include that information here, or you can also include information in a paragraph form that explains what the course is about and what the learning objectives are about. So here you want to make sure that before the learner enrolls, they have a complete, full picture, accurate picture of what the course will be about. Here we'll also include a terms and conditions, but again, you don't have to, as a course creator, you don't have to worry about that. We'll take care of that on the administration side. But again, we want all of our learners to agree to the terms and conditions, and this is where it will go. So for now, I have pre-written text over here on the course description. It's quite short, but for today, it will do. I'm going to go here and just paste it, okay? The course image is also very important. So this is what the learner will see. It's the thumbnail where you have the image and then the title of the course. So for this, it's very easy. If you have it on your desktop, all you have to do is just drag and drop. And then if you have an image you are not happy with, you can select it and then click on the bin to delete it, okay? There's another way. If you want, you can also click and then you'll have a number of options, whether it's upload a file, if you would like to include a URL of the image. But for today, let's just click and drag and include the image on the desktop. Okay, for the course format, we do have a standard we would like to follow, and that's the tiles format. So we do encourage our course creators to at least give this format a try, and we'll look through it today. However, if you are familiar with another format, if you believe another format would be best for your course, please go ahead and choose any of these that you think would work better. So we're going to choose the tiles format today, and we'll also go through a finalized version of the course, and there as well you'll see the tiles format. So the color for the tiles, you have a number to select from here. These are the Iliad brand colors, I believe. So let's just go with the light blue. Here as well, I haven't really worked with these two functions, so I'm going to leave it as is for today. But if you are curious, you can just click on these question mark icons at any point within Moodle, and it'll give you an explanation for it. And sometimes it even has a link to a video where you can watch a tutorial. And if you would like to use these later on, I'm happy to create videos about these as well. Okay, so for the progress on each tile, what this means is that your learner will be able to see their progression, and this can be done through a percentage or a fraction. And this will be visible on the tile. So let's just choose percentage in a circle for today to see how that works. Okay, for the rest, can be left as default. For example, the appearance does not need to be changed. This is the maximum file upload. Again, I wouldn't really change any of the rest of the features. Also, since this will be a non-managed course, we do not really want to complicate it. So I would leave these as a default. So for now, let's just save and display. I will also make sure that this is in full page mode. Okay, so now we have our course template. We have already created the course. And as you can see, we have 4 different tiles. We can add tiles. We can also remove tiles if we please. The announcement, this comes as a default, and I will show you how to remove it if it's something that you don't think is necessary. On the left side, we have these 3 lines. If you click on them, you'll see the course index. And this is very nifty little tool. I really do enjoy it. And once we input content, I'll show you how we can also take advantage of it. So for now, if you see that perhaps you've made a typo or you don't like the title, or maybe the format is not best, the way to go back and make edits to this course template is just by selecting settings. So click on settings and it will take you to where we were before. So again, here, if you would like to put 2.0, for example, you would like to give it a different title, you can change that as well. So I would also like to reduce the number of tiles. Let me see if I can find where that was. Should have been here, recommendation. Maybe it's in appearance. Okay. Anyway, okay, let's click on save and display. And here we'll see that the title has been updated. So this is one way you can edit the template itself. Now you'll notice that I can't actually delete or make any edits to this page, and that's because we're not in the edit mode. So for that, you'll see a button on the right top corner. Okay, we can just click on this. Or if you open these tiles, you'll see a pencil icon. So we can also click on this pencil icon to go into the edit mode. So let's do that. Just going to click on the pencil icon. And now we're in edit mode. And this is where we can input content and change titles and so on. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have this announcement that comes as a default. If we do not want it, we can click on the 3 dots and just go and delete it. So for today, I'll just delete it and it's gone. To make edits to any of these tiles, to add images, everything is very intuitive. All you have to do is just click. So let's add a thumbnail and let's add an image. Otherwise, it will be pretty ugly. It'll just show this icon. So let's do the photo library and see what kind of images we have. Okay, so you can choose any of these images. You can also upload a new photo. So let's do this. Since this asks for a few additional steps, again, I can just click and drag an image that I have and save changes. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so now you have the tile image. Let's give it a name. So here we can put Introduction to DTO. It might not be the best of the titles, but it will do for today. And now to add any type of content, we can use this button, add an activity or resource. Okay, so here you'll see 3 tabs, all activities and resources. So resources are static, right? It doesn't really require a lot of interaction with the student. They're not really going to type anything in. It's mostly viewing, reading, or for example, URLs. So today we'll use these 2, page and text and media. But I also want to show you the activities. So the activities are what learners really engage with. So if you have assignments, if there's a quiz, if it's a forum, this is where you'll find it, okay? It's more of the interactive tools. So for now, let's just create a page together and see what it looks like in Moodle. So I'm going to click on the page, and here it's going to ask for a name. So I'm just going to put basics of digital twins of the oceans. Again, maybe not the best the title, but it will do. So here, the description. Now, the description is not really where your main content should go. This just is a hint for the learners to know what this page is about, okay? So again, here we can put an instruction, like reading material, for example. If we want this instruction to be visible in the tile, we need to click on Display Description on course page, okay? And then the main content should go in the content box. So again, I just have a very small paragraph here. I'm going to copy and paste it here. Okay, and we'll see what this will look like. Again, the appearance, we don't really need to make any changes. If you don't want the modified date or a date to be visible at all, again, because it's a non-managed course, it's very unlikely that we'll update content after the publication, so you can also remove this. Completion conditions, that can be also very interesting. If you want the student to manually mark that they've read this part of the course, we can do that by selecting this option. You can also add other requirements as well. But for now, let's try this option. The restrict access is also an interesting tool, but again, because it's going to be non-managed, I wouldn't really recommend it because the software or Moodle can create glitches and so on. But for example, if you need the learner to go through one part of the material, so let's say there's a quiz and they need to get 90% or higher to move on to the next section of the course, this is where you could make that happen. Okay, so again, let's save and return to the course to see what this will look like. Okay, so we have our tile, and then we've created the page. If you click on this link, it will take you back to where you can make changes and edits to this page. But in order to see what it will look like, let's turn off the edit mode and see how the students would also see this. Okay, so here we have our tile. We have, remember we chose that light blue color, so that's what this will look like. It says Introduction to DTO and progress 0%. And this is again because we chose that option where the student can see their progression. Here we have the page. And then if the student clicks on basics of DTO, a pop-up comes or a page opens up where they have the reading material or the content. And then once the learner is done, if they want to make sure they know they've completed the step, they can click Mark as done. Okay, and then close it. So here again, you'll see that the progress bar is now a check mark because all of the materials within this tile have been completed. Okay, so again, let's go back to our edit mode. So I'm going to click this edit mode button. And again, I'm going to add an image. So let's see if this image, perfect. So once you add an image, it should be saved in the photo library. So you don't have to keep dragging and adding images. It will have it stored within Moodle. So I can just click on this again. And then here I'm going to include DTO video. Again, not the best of titles. Perhaps the session should have a better title, but this is what I will be adding. So the next step I would like to, okay. So this is very important. So once you add the title, so I said DTO video, for example, I just clicked on another part of the page. It did not save it. So make sure you click on enter for it to save. So it's a small glitch or whatnot. So make sure that's you always click on enter instead of just on a random spot on the page. Okay, so I want to show you something a little more complicated, but it's a tool that I've been using for other courses, and it's called text and media area. So my goal with this next section is to click on the tile and directly see a video on the like underneath the tile. Okay, so I don't want to click on another link to have a page pop up. I want my video to be displayed directly within my page. So in order to do this, there are a number of steps that we need to take. First, it will require some coding, HTML. And the current, so let me actually go back and edit this to show you the editor that we have. So currently the editor is not in the format that we need it to be. This does not have any HTML. Here we can insert links, multimedia, we can change the format and so on, but we cannot really code in there. So we need to change the editor format. Second of all, this is also something really important for our course creators. We've shared a Google Drive, and this is also to ensure sustainability after the project is completed. So the Google Drive belongs to the American University of Armenia, and it will be available for many years to come. So we would like all of the material that is shared through a course to be available there. Okay, and we do want to discourage uploading videos directly onto Moodle because that slows down the website. So what we need to do is we need to first have our content, in this case a video, in Google Drive, and then we need to link it to Moodle, to our page. So first, let's go through the step of changing the editor type. So for that, all you need to do is just click on your profile and then go to preferences. So this will be a little bit more complicated. Hopefully you'll follow along. And then click on editor preferences. And here you'll see default editor. We would need to change this to ATTO HTML editor. Okay, so we can also use some coding, HTML coding in there. Okay, now we need to go back to our course. So this is also a good way to have you see how to access your course if it's already created. So you can scroll down and see that your course is here. It's very easy. You can just click on it and start editing again. The more complicated version, if you, for whatever reason, do not see it in the available courses, is to go into site administration. And then again, courses, manage courses and categories. And here you shouldn't have as many courses as I do, but here we have our course, Introduction to Digital Twins of the Oceans 2.0, and just click on this edit button, and it will take you to our settings. So in order to see our course, we just need to click on this button that says course, and we're back where we belong. Okay, so now that the editor has been modified, I can click on Add Activity and Resource, Text and Media area. This is the tool that will help me directly input the video onto the title. Okay, so now I need to give it a title again. Let's say I want to have it something different than video, but let's do introductory video. Okay. So again, here you'll see that the editor has changed. We have this little arrow down button. We need to click on this. And then at the very end, you see HTML. Okay, but before I do that, I do want to give it another name, or we can just use the same title. So I'm going to include it here. I would also like to make this into a heading and then center it. So I can use all of these formatting buttons. Now I'm going to go back to my HTML mode, and here you'll see the title is here, but there is additional code around it. And I'm going to use a code that is already available. And this has also been shared with all of our course creators. So hopefully everyone has access to this folder called training material. Here we have tutorials regarding Moodle. So this particular section is actually available within these trainings, and it's right here, tutorial 3A HTML preferences, and here adding a video HTML. So if you click on this presentation, you'll find the same code that I will be using here. So I'm going to copy this code and paste it into my editor. So in order to see what this code does, you can just close the HTML, deactivate it, and here you'll see that a video has been added. This is another video. And so since I would like to use my own video, I'm going to go into my folder. This is from the MOOC that we'll also explore together soon. And I do want to, let's say, use Bente's data management principles video. I want to add that to this course. For me to do this, I need to make sure that the shared preferences is anyone with the link. Okay, if it's anything else like restricted, or if you're just going to share a few people here, it's not going to work. It needs to be available to everyone. And then I'm going to click on copy link. Another easier way to do this is to click on this little arrow and say copy link. Okay, so now that I have this link, I need to remove my old one. Okay, make sure you don't remove this preview. This is very important. And then I'm going to paste this new link that I have. And you'll see that we have view sharing. This section that is not necessary. It's actually going to complicate things. So we need to remove it and make sure instead of sharing, it says preview. Again, if I deactivate HTML, you'll see that I have now data management principles. This is from the summer school of 24. So I'm going to use this video. Again, for fun, let's do completion conditions and say that the student has to also mark that as complete. Okay, now I'm going to save it and return to my tile or to my course page. And again, this is not what the learner will see, so I'm going to deactivate my edit mode first. And here we have our first tile with the page tool used. We have our second tile, and as you can see, I don't need to click on any additional links. I can also play this video by just clicking.
Data management principles.
And we'll hear Bente talk about data management principles. Again, this can be for PDFs. It can be even for a website. So you can have a website within a website. We can include larger text here, more information, and so on. And then again, I can mark it as done after viewing it. And one more time, you'll see the progression bar go to a check mark. Okay, so let's go back to our edit mode. And I want to also very quickly show you how to skip all these steps. If you are adding PDF files or any other files that you have in PDF format, it could be a presentation, you can very easily add it by just clicking and then dragging. So since our tile 3 is empty, I'm just going to click it and here drag the PDF file. Okay, I can also do it in the index. So sometimes your course can have 20 different tiles. In that case, it's very difficult to scroll down and up. And all you'll have to do really is just click and drag it into the index, the course index, and it will be visible there as well. And you can do this with other parts of or other activities and resource tools as well. So for example, if I decide this introductory video should be part of the first tile, I can just click and drag it up. And here you saw as well that now it's part of my introduction to DTO tile. It's no longer part of this tile. And if I find this tile redundant or unnecessary, I can click on it and just delete it, okay? The other part of Moodle that I really do enjoy is the duplication. So for example, if you decide that this media and text feature is great for other parts of the course as well. So you have multiple videos that you would like to include, but you don't want to continuously copy and paste the link and the code. All you need to do is just go and say, please duplicate this part or this tool for me. And below you'll see the duplication. So again, if I want to edit this part of the course, I can click on the 3 dots, go to edit, and then let's say I would like to change the video in this case. Again, I have to go to my HTML, and let's see what video we can add here. So I need to go back to my MOOC folder and, for example, use the blue tech. So here again, I can click here, copy link, make sure it doesn't start. And then change this part of the code, remove this view sharing part, okay? And then go back and see if it has made the changes. So now this video should discuss the blue tech. Okay, I think it has worked. Again, we can change the title, leave it as introductory or introduction to blue tech. Okay, and then save and return. All of these settings will be as they were in the previous section. So again, let's see if it works. It seems like it's loading. Okay, so here we have the blue tech transfer video discussing it. Okay, and again, if this is not appropriate now, it shouldn't be in the introduction to DTO. We can move it to a different tile by just clicking and dragging in the index. Okay, and then as we saw, deactivating the edit mode takes us back to the tiles. So let's do that. But there's also another way that you can see or make sure that your students are seeing what you want them to see, and that's by changing the role. So right now we're in the course creator version of Moodle, but if we click on our profile icon and say switch roles to, we can choose student. And now we see the course as if we were a learner, a student reviewing our course or attending the course. So again, here you'll see that some of the options like settings, that's no longer an option for students. Okay, let's see if I've gone through everything. I think this is it. Let's go back to our normal role as a course creator. And the last portion is how do we make this course available to students? So for that, we need to go to participants. And here, if you have, so it's just me at the moment, but if you have students enrolled already, you should see their information. But in order to make the course available for enrollment, you need to change this to enrollment method. So from enrolled users to enrollment methods. And here you'll see self-enrollment and guest access. So at the moment, both of these are deactivated. So if we want students to be able to self-enroll, we just need to click on this eye icon, and now the course will be visible for learners who would like to enroll. Again, they would need to have an account, create an account to be able to enroll. The guest access, that's basically available to the public. They don't need to make any additional steps of creating an account or agreeing to the terms and the conditions. So we do not want this to be activated, at least not at the moment. Okay, and then again, if you need to go back to the course, you can just click on the course to go back to the main page. Okay, I think there might be some questions. So if there are, let's go through some of those questions, and then we'll look at an already created course.
Thank you so much, Guhar. As one of the course creator, I found this very useful. I have to say, very helpful. So thank you so much for that. I do have, and I want to give the floor to the audience here while you are raising your hands. I want to ask you, you know that Iliad, we are publishing the videos on our YouTube channel. But what you are saying is that you also want the video put on the Google Drive here to be able to share it on as part of a course.
So not necessarily. If it's on YouTube, if you're going to directly share it from YouTube, and actually, yes, I have one option that I was going to show if we had enough time. If it's YouTube, you can directly share it from YouTube. You do not need to have the same video shared in Google Drive. But if you're creating a new video that's not on YouTube, that's on your desktop, for example, or if you've edited, so in the MOOC, actually, I've edited a number of videos, removing some information that might not need to be there, or cutting the video to a specific section that's relevant for the MOOC. Then I had a new version of the video, and it was on my desktop. So in that case, I did need to share it in the Google Drive folder before I could link it to the website.
Yeah. So it's curation. But then a follow-up question on that is that will it be an embed? Because it looks very nice that you have like the video directly, that you don't have to click on a link. Is there an embed? Do you still have to use the code, but like an embed video instead of the link to the video in Google Drive? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand the question?
I do. I think you mean, can you just embed it directly in the code, the editor, right? So
Yes.
in that case, it does still give you a link that you need to click. So if you embed a video, you need to have a nice title, click on the title, and then a pop-up comes up with the video, which is not a problem either. That's just a preference. I just found this format more user-friendly because everything is kind of on a website format where you scroll down and you can read and you don't have to have additional pop-ups come up. In this case, you can also, if you want it to be bigger, you can click on this pop out, and it does take you to the Google Drive page. Again, this is bigger. You can also have access to it this way. And I think you're also allowed to speed up and slow down the speed of the video, which is also nice. And sometimes it's not doable.
Yeah. But coming back to the YouTube video, because in WordPress, you can actually embed the video from YouTube. And so it's like you have a screen that you show here, a picture of the video, right? And you click directly, and it starts to run, and it's an embed of YouTube, and that is not possible. This embedding.
I think if it's a YouTube, it should be fine. You should embed it directly, but the Google Drive is where it becomes a little bit of an issue. So if you have a Google Drive, it's better to use this option with the code, the HTML code. But if it's YouTube, I think we can also try it together. We can do it as a file where, let's click on the file, where you can just, as you said, embed the URL here. Let's try this video directly from YouTube.
Yes, because you get different codes from YouTube, right? Embed either a link or an embed, a link, an embed link, an explicit embed link.
So here, this is how it would come up. So you can do that. You can also upload a file if you would like. But we can also try it with another. Let's see how this will come out. There are other tools as well that we can try. That's perhaps just for the video.
You probably need to have the
Oh, this is the
coding.
description. I'm sorry. This is
Yeah.
something else. This is not the correct feature. So let's cancel this. And then let's go back to this. So you can do it again through the page, but again, it will be a clickable link first, and then it will display the video. We can use it with this. It can also just be a URL. Again, it will be a link you click, and then the video will come up, or it will take you to YouTube in this case. Should I try the page? I think this might be the closest option. So again, I'm just going to quickly put video, and then here in the content, I will put YouTube video, and then try this option.
Yeah, look at the share, but click on the share button. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
If you click at the share button of the video, go back to the video, share, you get, no, but you
embed.
get embed, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And if you put that,
Yes, I see this too. Okay, so yeah, this is the HTML. So this would go into that page.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will show, yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't want to, I see what you mean now. This is still HTML. I thought you meant just like the link from
No,
from the
no.
tab. Okay, yeah, this should also work.
Because then you see,
Okay.
you get the, because then you see the video, the image of the video, and you can click on the image and the video starts in the same fashion as with the Google. That's the functionality I was aiming for. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it worked. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is again, but it's not directly. So here you see the video directly on the page, right? This just is one extra step. You need to click on this link
Okay.
for it to pop. Yeah, it's just a matter of the format. So again, I can show it this way. I'll disable the edit mode. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so again, we have our tiles, and here we have the video that is now available. But for the URL option, you need to click for the page to pop up with the video. That's the only difference. Okay.
One thing to reiterate, Gohar already mentioned, but maybe it's worth noting again. If the video is not available online somewhere, like on YouTube or other platforms, and you have it on your desktop and you want to share it, technically you could do this on the platform directly, but we didn't want to go that approach, because if so many files are uploaded, eventually the server will become slower and slower. So we didn't want to run that risk. The alternative is that you host it on anything else, like Google Drive, etc., and then have the link, as Gohar already mentioned. The only thing that I want to highlight here is make sure you're hosting it somewhere where it will be, the link will be available and accessible for the next years to come. Otherwise, we will run the risk of your course having multiple videos which are deleted or inaccessible. Say you shared it on your own profile, and then that profile doesn't exist anymore. You forgot your password, you changed jobs, etc. For the sake of sustainability and longevity, we are also providing a Google Drive within our university. So if you're not sure, you don't want to host it on your personal platform because you have limited space, etc., we could provide you with a Google Drive link where you could upload it there, and then provide the link from that drive specifically, which we will make sure to maintain at least in the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay, Gerbert, so this means that those who want to use this academy to share courses, they need also access to the Google Drive to upload material.
Like I said, if the material is already available online, somewhat sustainable, there's absolutely no problem. The issue only comes up when you have private personal files on your own computer, and you don't know how to share it in a sustainable way, or you don't have an easy way. Please do reach out to us, and we will provide you the link of the drive where we can host all this material.
Okay, so we need to
And-
reach out to you.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's
And
that.
it should, I've sent emails with all of these links, but I can also send one more time with a more comprehensive list of all of the resources available to all of our course creators, if that will be helpful. But all of this has already been shared, so you should have access to it, but I completely understand if it just got lost in all of the emails I've been sending out. So I don't think we have too much time, so I would like to actually present the MOOC just quickly, and then we'll also look at the different types of tools that we've used in this as well. Actually, I want to log out completely to make sure that we get the final view. Okay, so once you click on the course title, you get the whole structure, and then you can X this out if it's not interesting. And then you have the tiles. And then once you click on a tile, the content is revealed. So I want to show you a number of different tools that I've used. So here, initially, you have a page. You have to click on this, and it gives you introductory text to this session with some of the learning objectives or what the session is about. Then, and again, this is the page tool that we've used, or resource. And then here, this is the media and text area that kind of needed a little more of the HTML side to it. But again, you have the text, and then you have an embedded video. You kind of just keep scrolling down as if it's a website to gain this information. So then we have an infographic, we have optional activities, and this is just a link. Additional relevant courses as well. So it's hinting to other courses available on the site and about our expert. Again, this is a page, so you have to click, and Bente, you come up here because the video is where you talk about what digital twins are. So there are pros and cons to also this format because it can get quite long. So for example, data management and interoperability is very, very long. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and there's a lot of information. So again, perhaps it's not the best option if it can get very, very long, but I do want to show you what I found the index very useful for, and that it has all of the sections. So if you want to learn more about citizen science, for example, or you've stopped at this section, all you have to do is click on it, and the text appears immediately. And so if I want to go back to data spaces, all I have to do is really click on it, and then it brings me to that section of the course. So that's one. And then I also want to show you the media and text area potential for other things other than a video. So again, here we have the video. We can keep scrolling to find a presentation. I think this should be a presentation. So again, you can include PDFs and presentations in an embedded way as well. So right now I'm just scrolling through the presentation. Instead of having to download it and then open it separately on my computer, especially if you're on your phone, this might be the best option because I know downloading PDFs on a phone can get very confusing. If you do want to download it, you click on this pop-up button, and then here you can download this PDF. And then I think if we go down, we can even have a website. So if you don't want the learner to leave your course to visit a website, you can embed a link to that website. So here we have our Blue Tech Transfer. So you're listening to the course, and you can actively, start typing in and filling out this form if you want to. You can even visit other parts of the website directly on your course page by using the media and text option. Okay, so again, this is the structure, and I've tried to keep it consistent. So every tile begins with introduction to the module. It has text, it has videos, and then at the end, it has about the expert section. So if we scroll down all the way, we'll see about our experts. So it kind of kept it more or less consistent. And here we have biographies of all of the experts that are featured in this page. Okay, I think.
A quick question concerning the biographies. Is it room for pictures of the speakers there?
We could include pictures as well.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. If that's something that is
We lost you, Gohar, the sound. Still.
We can include, let's give it a minute, maybe. Am
Yeah,
I
now
back?
we can hear you again. Yes, now you're back.
Okay. So I was saying images, we can definitely include images if you would like any contact information, LinkedIn, email, I don't know. I didn't include those because I thought, you know, that needs to be discussed. But we can also include those as well. And we can also, if you, since we're reviewing the course currently, that could be also a suggestion made in the Excel or via email, whatever is convenient.
Yes, because when we are creating all these webinars, we have actually collected all those, you know, the bios and the pictures, and we know that people like to know who is talking. So this has been collected already and should be ready to be used actually with.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you can also share that information, because I am missing a few bios. So I will reach out to you for that after the webinar. Okay, so if there are additional questions, happy to answer them. If not, there is a small 2-question survey. If you can take a few minutes to complete the survey, I think it's only 2 questions about the structure and the design of the MOOC. And then lastly, I just have 1 page on best practices for MOOC creation. And again, it has to do with the materials used. And we've kind of talked about this a number of times. Karapet mentioned it, I mentioned it. So again, please use long-term repositories like the Google Drive. Make sure that you will not lose access to that repository. Also, the materials that are shared, please make sure that we're not going to have any copyright or licensing issues. Please, if it's a third-party resource, especially review and make sure that we have the copyright permissions and the licenses to use it, or just stick to the open resources and Creative Commons licenses. Avoid large file uploads in Moodle. Again, I know that DTOs can be very data intensive, so if you're going to share data, please don't just upload that onto Moodle, even though you can. But we could have problems later on if it gets too heavy. So again, you can place it in a cloud format and then or medium, and then share it to Moodle or use the Google Drives again. I did mention including links. This is a personal subjective preference. I do like to avoid links that take you away from the course. So if you have a link, make sure that once you click on it, at least a new window opens up, that you're not taken away from the course, which might then make it very difficult for students to go back and could be very annoying for them as well. And then keep consistency in the structure and tools used. So there are a number of tools available, but as I showed, there was a kind of a structure to the MOOC. Please keep it consistent, and that kind of also reduces confusion from students, especially if there are too many tools used. You know, one functions this way, the other functions another way. That can be confusing. And lastly, I included very limited but useful links. So here, if you're creating videos and you don't want a voiceover or you don't want your voice in it, this website is very useful. You can just include the text and then it generates a voice or a recording for you, and it does not ask for any account creation. So that's why I prefer it. I don't have to create any accounts and keep getting emails from them. It doesn't have limits. I think there is a limitation to, let's say you can only use 2,000 words at a time, but you can use the tool as often as you want, as many times as you want. The next one is it transcribes videos to text. And this was very useful when I was creating the MOOC, because a lot of the content that you see, I transcribed the video and then created the outline from that transcript. So that was useful. I also use ChatGPT for image creation. It's not the best tool. Sometimes it gives you unusable images, especially it includes text that you don't want in the images. But again, that can be something useful as well. But if you do need images created, if you have any needs in terms of technologies like this, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to help out with those as well. I will also share, I think we're going to share the presentation and all of the materials after the webinar, so this should be available as well. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Guhar, and thank you also, Garabet, for this very nice introduction and hands-on guidance on how to use the Iliad Academy. Great work. As Guhar said, this as normally we do post this recording with the slides on the Iliad website immediately. Actually, first it is sent to those who registered, and I believe many will benefit. I think we were like 60 registered, so there's a lot more responses to your surveys, I hope. We will send also a reminder on that. By the way, Guhar, the links to the surveys that you posted in the chat is not working, whereas Garabet had the right access admittance. So
sorry.
just FYI, yeah, it's so easy to
Yeah.
this difference. So I just, in case,
I
because
hope
we will
Garabet
share.
shares the correct links.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
One
Okay.
remark also. One remark. Excellent is one. It's vice versa, as normally, because people tend to see 5 and put 5 directly, but this is opposite.
We try to be number one, Babis. That's why we chose.
Yeah, you will end up in the bottom because of that. Because it was really, I think this was really, really great. It's very useful for me because we've been playing with the tool, the mock tool earlier, and it's easy to get lost, even if it's straightforward. It's easy to use, but some guidance, specifically how to maneuver from one edit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to going move around when you are editing. Where again do I have the edit rights? Just this was the experience. So you showed us that it was, a few clicks actually before you could get to the right the right
The
mode.
right stage.
Yes. So but other than that, it's very powerful tool. I think I will enjoy continuing working on it, and I hope that our other partners in Iliad and those not from Iliad is also, of course, welcome to use this tool to create courses and support those different third parties, tools, etc. that is necessary to create a digital twin of the ocean. Do we have any more? So the audience is very modest, but I hope when we are sending out this recording and with the surveys that we will get feedback. It's always useful to get feedback from the usage, as with the experience that, by the way, Marie-Françoise and I had together and trying to fill in, to fill in our part of the course, and there will be others, I'm sure. So it pops up for instance, this video, how do you handle the video, etc. So this is great. This is exactly what we needed, Guhar and Garabet. Thank you so much.
If there's a tool that's new, please email me. I will create a tutorial, send it to you on how to use it.
Yeah. Yes, tutorials. And Garabet, by the way, you showed some very nice numbers to begin with. underlying the need of courses and training. And everywhere I go, any new technology, anything, it's capacity development. It's a never-ending need. So this will never go out of fashion for sure. It will be like a big demand
No, for
continuously.
sure. And yeah, and one point I did bring up was with the pace of development these days and innovation and digital technologies, having worked on both sides, like I'm also teaching at the university, and it always takes a very long time to get a course approved, brought into the curriculum, and so on. Sometimes, the traditional method isn't necessarily the best equipped to handle with this type of capacity development. So this is where online courses and MOOCs come in, where you're bringing in the really cutting edge, the basically current innovations while they're being developed to a broader audience. And I think this will become more and more important as we go along into this realm.
Absolutely. And another aspect is that as people are learning to use these new tools, in this case, building a twin, it's actually those who have the fresh experience are very good, very competent to create the course because they know where the pain points are, right, in learning stuff.
Yeah.
So and I'm saying this to everyone, then, that even if you don't feel like you're an expert, actually it's an advantage if you're a newbie and just went through learning something. You are in a very good position to make a very good course if that's the case. And yeah, absolutely. And having very often I see that there's a lot of academies popping up, training courses, etc. Very often, in my opinion, they are either too general or maybe too requiring too much expertise in coding, etc. So there's any kind of bits and piece of what the training is, I'm sure there will be a need for somebody to help to hold your hand at any stage. Giving a nice overview is one thing, and then too detailed will be too difficult. So actually each of the steps will be good to have a tutorial or a very detailed course like you did for us now, Gohar, to go really in detail, click on show step by step. So yes, that was an encouragement to all of us. And I think it looks like there is no hands raising or any comments in the chat. So I think we are all done. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Isabel.
And see you in the next webinar, and see you in the mock creation.
Great.
Now the ball's in your court, as they say.
Yes.
We're waiting for the courses.
Absolutely. Okay. Have a good evening,
Bye-bye.
afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.